On this episode, 30 kids sent to the hospital after a school bus crashes. Also, a teenager charged with throwing gas on a bonfire, triggering an explosion that burns 17. That and more. Chris Talk starts right now. Let's get into it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up to all my listeners? Welcome to another episode of Chris Talks. I am your host with the most, Chris. All right, so let's check out these stories that we have for today. What are we doing? Oh yes. Before we start, I would like to welcome all my new listeners and all my regular listeners. I want to welcome y'all to the show and say, how was your day? Because my day has been good. I hope your day has been good as mine. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Let's get into these stories. Folks, to all my listeners, let's get into these stories. So, this first story is about 30 kids that were sent to the hospital after an Idaho school bus crashes. So, this first story sends us to Idaho. All right, let's let our AI good guy take over, and let's do what we do. All right, hit it.
A school bus carrying 30 YMCA summer camp kids crashed on Friday on an Idaho highway. According to police, all 30 kids were taken to local hospitals, in an abundance of caution. According to Idaho State Police, 11 were injured and 7 deemed critical. The kids' ages ranged from 13 to 18 years old. According to police, the incident occurred on State Highway 55 near milepost 84 in Boise County at around 3 p.m. local time. Authorities said, the school bus rolled over in the crash. Police said, this was one of 4 buses for the summer camp program. According to police, the other 3 were not involved with the crash. Idaho State Police said they are investigating the crash and it's currently unknown what caused it. Multiple agencies responded to assist with the crash. Rescue apparatus was on scene. According to the Valley County Sheriff's Office, a stretch of the highway was temporarily closed in both directions in the wake of the crash. The YMCA summer camp program was through the Treasure Valley YMCA. State Police said, the Treasure Valley Family YMCA would like to thank the many individuals in our community for reacting quickly with heroic support of our campers and staff involved in the accident yesterday on HWY 55. The Boise-based organization said in a statement on social media on Saturday, we're grateful for your continued thoughts and prayers as we work to support those involved.
And we hope to continue the thoughts and prayers to the students of this incident. Now, according to this incident, this was done in Idaho, in a little town up in Idaho. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm checking out some other information here. Just to let y'all know. Okay, so according to other state authorities, no, there was no casualties in this situation. Thank God. So let's give a shout out to okay, let's give a shout out to the YMCA. Let's give them an applause. Okay, and let's also give an applause to the Idaho State Troopers for their response, for their quick response. Now they're saying that there was 30 kids on this bus, but 11 of them 11 of them were at a critical state. They were injured in a critical state, but none of them passed. So let's thank God for that. Let's thank God for that first and foremost. That none of these kids passed. That some of these kids were injured and some of these kids were severely injured, but none of these kids had passed. And I'm gonna say straight up, that is a good thing, because this could have been, excuse me, this could have been a complete different story. But at least the total amount of kids that went to the hospital, they were not hospitalized, but they went to the hospital, was 30. The total amount of kids which were hospitalized and in critical condition was about 11 kids who were hospitalized in critical condition. Our thoughts and prayers, us here from the Christian Talk Show, me and my staff, our thoughts and prayers go out to these kids and the families of these kids, and hoping that these kids make a full recovery. And it's not really too much that I can say to this story. It's not too much of my view or my opinion that I can give you to this story, because they don't. This story is still under investigation. They don't state what actually caused the accident, but they do say that multiple agencies were involved in the rescue of these kids. So let's give them a round of applause, because it was multiple agencies within this area, within this state of Ohio. Yes, within this state that came to rescue these kids. And not for nothing, as a parent, I am very grateful. So let's give them another round of applause. I am very grateful as a parent. Even though it did not happen in the state that I live in, I am very grateful for such a reaction to this incident. So yeah, there's not too much that I can say on this. There was an accident. The kids were rescued. 11 of them, all 30 of the kids were shipped to the hospital. 11 of them was in critical condition, but according to the further reports that I have looked up, they have made full recovery. So nobody ended up passing away in this accident and in this tragedy. And thank to God that did not happen. So shout out to Idaho. What was the name of this news? Oh, they don't list the name of the station. Okay, but shout out to Idaho for oh no, they really don't. They really don't shout it out. All right. So okay, so shout out to Idaho for posting this story. Oh, okay, okay. All right, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so can we pull that up? Do we have that? Okay, so okay for my audience, we have a I'm sorry for that, but we were trying to find a video on this, so they have a little video on this. We're gonna try to pull it up and play it. So is it possible? Can we play that video? Play it.
From a summer camp, 7 critically injured after the vehicle rolled over on a highway north of Boise, Idaho. ABC's Doreen Shaw joins us now with the latest on that. Zareen, good morning.
Janae, that ride was supposed to be a fun trip, but it took a terrifying turn. That bus carrying nearly 30 kids crashed, sending 7 kids right here to St. Alphonsus and others to a local trauma center with far more critical injuries.
The school bus is turned over in both lanes of travel, possibly 30 injured. We have multiple units en route and multiple ambulances.
This morning, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a bus to roll over and crash on a highway, injuring 11 and leaving at least 7 teenagers critically injured. The bus containing nearly 30 kids with ages ranging from 13 to 18 years old was on the way back from a YMCA summer camp program when it lost control on Friday afternoon. The damage to the front and side of the bus seen here as it was being towed away from the scene of the accident.
It's confirmed to be a school bus out of Caldwell. It is lying across the highway, and he is reporting lots of injuries.
All of the bus's occupants were brought to local hospitals.
Any over 14 years of age, critical, go to St. Al's Boise. Under 14 years of age, go to St. Luke's.
The children spent the week at the YMCA camp, usually held for kids between 2nd and 11th grade, where they could take part in activities like canoeing and archery. Several buses go back and forth at the beginning and end of each week, although YMCA's president and CEO says this is the first time anything like this has ever happened. YMCA's president and CEO also said that camp is supposed to be a fun experience, and he doesn't know what happened. That crash is still under investigation. And meanwhile, YMCA is also holding another camp at that same location starting tomorrow. They're currently trying to figure out whether they keep it going as scheduled.
An awful.
Yeah. All right. So that is coming to us. What is this now? Pull that up on the screen, please. Make that bigger. All right. Yeah, Maria, thank you. Okay, make that bigger. Okay, so that's coming to us via ABC, Idaho. So y'all know, well, you heard the story. And we send our prayers out to these families, and I am very grateful that no one died. And this is a really bad accident. Because when I'm looking at the photos, as like I told y'all, most of the time, a majority of the time, you see the story the same time I see the story. So I am reviewing this as I'm speaking on it, and this bus crash, it is really, really bad. The bus is turned over. There are multiple emergency vehicles. If you could just picture it, multiple emergency vehicles, and you could think sort of highway, not city. If you're like highway or suburb, my view is highway or suburb. It's more suburb emergency vehicles. So they are out there, and they got these kids out, and by the grace of God, it was very successful by the grace of God. Okay, so we're going to hit up the comment from one of these viewers. I volunteered to watch these kids for a band performance, a bus ride to another school. Wow. It was so noisy. I wondered how the bus driver could concentrate. I never volunteered. I never volunteered again. That was one of the comments. So this was one of the comments from one of the viewers who apparently seemed like it seems like they were a volunteer bus driver at one point, and they drove this bus. You know what I mean? But even when you're a bus driver, I'm pretty sure y'all know kids make a whole bunch of noise when they on these buses. Sometimes it is hard to concentrate when you're driving these buses. But again, they did not state the cause of the accident. So, as of now, we really don't have. Turn it down. Thank you. We really don't have no idea what caused this accident. No idea. But we are grateful. I am grateful that these kids survived this accident. No matter how bad it was, they survived it. And that's my view and that's my opinion on that story. All right, everybody, I want to thank y'all for listening to that story. Okay, so if you like this content and want to hear more of it, hit that subscribe, that like, and that notification button so you can continue to hear more of my stories and continue to get notifications when we air any type of story, which we do on every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, folks. So y'all can check that out. All the links and everything are right there on your screen. As always, they're right there on your screen. So subscribe, like, and comment. Don't forget to do that. And that's what it is. All right. So thank you. So let's get into this second story. The second story is about a teenager charged after throwing gas on a bonfire, triggering an explosion that burnt 17 people. Wow. All right, let's see where this story brings us. All right, let's let our AI take over. Hit that.
A Wisconsin teenager has been charged with triggering a bonfire explosion that injured more than a dozen people. Prosecutors in northeastern Wisconsin's Shawano County charged Sam Armstrong, 18, on Thursday with 13 counts of injury by negligent handling of explosives or fire in connection with the October 14 explosion outside the community of Pulaski. WLUK-TV reported Armstrong was attending the bonfire with other teenagers when he threw a barrel containing a gasoline-diesel mix into the fire, sparking an explosion that burned at least 17 people. According to the criminal complaint, Armstrong, who was 17 at the time, later told police he didn't know his actions would cause an explosion and injure anyone. According to the complaint, he told investigators he had been drinking beer. Armstrong waived his preliminary hearing Thursday. Judge William Cussell set a $100,000 signature bond, and Armstrong is due back in court Sept. 13 for an arraignment. Greg Petit, listed in court records as Armstrong's attorney, didn't immediately respond to an email Friday seeking comment. A 16-year-old accused of helping Armstrong with the barrel was ordered in February to perform community service.
That's kind of messed up, though. The 16-year-old get community service. That's kind of messed up. But I mean, he's a minor, so I mean, kind of, but not. So let's start at the top of the story. Okay, this story brings us to Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin. Man, there's some. I ain't gonna front. There's some bugged out people in Wisconsin. Okay, so let's just keep that. Let's keep it a buck, nip tuck. Okay, there are some bugged out people in Wisconsin. Yeah, I said it. There are some bugged out people in Wisconsin. Okay, so let's hit the immediate. I said immediate. Let's hit the immediate. Okay, so this guy is obviously underage, sitting there. He claims he didn't know what his actions was going to cause. But can we give him the W bell? Give him the dummy bell. One more time, please. Yes, because this guy definitely deserves it. People, this is why, to any of my younger listeners, I don't assume all my listeners are old, but to any of my younger listeners or dumb, it is common sense that if you throw fuel on a fire, it is going to explode. That is just common sense. Yes, it is. It's common sense. It's common sense that if a fire is burning and you throw more fuel on it, or at least a barrel or a bucket of fuel on it, it is going to burn. It's going to get higher. It's going to get higher. Like, I don't even want to give my view or my opinion on this because, to me, this is pure ignorance. This is just foolishness. This straight up foolishness. Dude, fire, gasoline, throw it on fire. What the hell you think is going to happen? Now, maybe he wasn't aware of his actions, but his actions got him in trouble. And this is why we need to be, that's why I said we need to do better, people. Because, come on. Like, I mean,
bruh.
Do it again?
Bruh.
Need you say more?
Bruh.
Come on. How foolish can you be? And this is a teenager, so some people might say that he didn't know better, but at 17 years old, come on, you have got to know better. You got to definitely know better than to do something like this that injures 17 people. So now 17 people got to go to the hospital with a range of first. What does it say? Can you bring that up again? What is the degree? No, the second page. Bring that up. Okay. First to second degree of burns. That's what it says, right? Can you bring that spot up? Okay, first and second degree burns. Not third degree, but first and second degree burns. That these kids and you physically you have damaged them, because some of them might need to get grafts on their skin and all of this and all that, and if they can't afford it, now they gotta walk around. You understand what I'm saying? People, to all my listeners, do you understand what I'm saying? So let's be more cautious of the things that we do and the actions that we take. Because the things that we do and the actions that we take, we do not know what the outcome is. We don't know how many people that it can affect. But I mean, it's obvious. Every action is going to affect somebody. We just never know the number of people that it's going to affect. And we send our love to the family. Let's give them an applause. We send our love to the family and to the family of the burn victims for them being strong, because it's a lot. It is a lot. So us here at Chris Talks, if nobody gives y'all a shout out, we want to give y'all a shout out and applause to y'all for y'all courage and everything like that. But then also, what were y'all doing at this bonfire? It's a lot of back and forth. I know I might sound hypocritical. It's a lot of back and forth, though. But what these kids doing at this bonfire, that their parents know that they was at this bonfire, you know, it's a lot of things that's mixed up in there. But as parents, we have to be careful, very careful, very careful. But as parents, we can only teach our kids but so much. So when we send them into the outside world and they have to make certain decisions, you know what I'm saying? This particular team made a bad decision and he's going to pay for it. He's definitely going to pay for this decision, but it's senseless and it's dumb. Now, I'm not saying the kid had the wrong teaching or bad teaching, but better preparation and stuff would have let this kid know that if doing something like this, yes, you will go to jail. Yes, you will. You don't want to be there. Yes, you will be sitting. You're going to sit there and rot for a little while. Because this is, like, the charge can clearly be seen as somewhat arson. I don't know if some of y'all believe that it's arson, but in a way, it is sort of. Because this, you gotta understand, this guy threw gasoline fluid, and then boom. Because he wanted, that's what I'm assuming, he wanted to see that boom. But it caused a bigger boom than he expected. And it hurt a lot of people. Alright, let's check out one of these comments. The justice system is so fed up. Why in the hell is these what is this? Is this T's bond so high? Oh, T's. Oh, he meant to. I guess this person meant to say teens bond so high. Yeah, other offenders. A guy is let out on $10,000 bail, and he has an what does it say? Extensive. Bring that up bigger, please, because those words is mad small. You're making me sound stupid right here. Has an extensive criminal record, and end up killing his girlfriend and unborn child. It makes no sense. So, just to clear that up, what this person is saying, this commenter is saying, is why is this person bail so high? Yet a person that commits a crime such as murdering his girlfriend and unborn child, and also has an extensive record, can get out with a lesser bond. This is true though. Let's give this guy an applause right quick. Can you do it? Thank you. But it's true. It's true. Because some people get out on a lesser bond and they commit more devastating acts, way more devastating criminal acts. Yet they are released on such a light bail. Some of them are given $50,000. Some of them can you imagine, really imagine a murderer, somebody who murdered or killed one of your family members, getting released on a $50,000 or $25,000 bond? Can you really imagine it? It's kind of crazy to think about, right? But these things happen. These things happen. Should this teen be charged to the full extent of the law? I don't know about the full extent. I don't know. Like I said, if this teen has a criminal history and a criminal record of setting fires and arson or something like that, they should definitely consider that in his sentencing. But other than that, then I mean, maybe there's some leniency there. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Hit me up in the comments and you let me know what you think. Should there be some leniency there because he's 17? Should the 16-year-old have gotten leniency? Should the 17-year-old bail be $100,000? Do you think that's too much? Or do you think that's too little? I don't know. You tell me. My audience, all my listeners, I want you to tell me. Hit me in them comments and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Okay? In my opinion, everything is, as far as I'm concerned, is proper DAPA. Until it continues. And I do want to come back to this story. We do have to come back to the story. But until then, yeah, I think the charges are official. I mean, he wasn't on a rampage trying to kill a bunch of people, but I mean, he did what he did. Maybe it was a mistake. And I don't know. But if it was a mistake, it was a mistake. But he still has to pay for that mistake. Because it was his decisions that caused this to happen. You know? It was his decisions. I mean, it is what it is. And that's my view. And that's my opinion. Alright, that's my that's the end of the show, Buzz. Alright, listen, folks. As always, hit that subscribe, that like, and also view your comments. All the links and everything, they are right there on your screen, so you can hit us up for donations and all that good stuff. We do appreciate all of it that you send. Anybody looking to promote something, trying to promote something, hit me up. You can DM me on Messenger, and we can work something out to where we can work out a promotion on this show. Other than that, I am about to get up out of here. So, stay blessed and not stressed. Treat everybody as you would want to be treated. Until next episode, folks. Peace. Alright, I'm out of here. I am so hungry. I need to eat, man.